All right. Well, welcome to the Ladies Clay Buzz. I'm Stephanie Newman, and this is brought to you by Mental Clays. I'm here with Sandra, Joe, Jack, and Miss Joy. And today
Hi.
we have some guests. Sandy, who we got?
Yay. We
Oh,
are lucky we have these special guests. Gary King, and then we have Roseanne. But how do you pronounce your last name, Roseanne?
Prucka.
Prucka. Okay, I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure. So we have Gary King and Roseanne Prucka with us today on Ladies Clay Buzz.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate you. Miss Joy, how are we doing today?
man, we're awesome down here in Mississippi. Of course, the ice has still got us in, and y'all need to come and do something about it because I don't know what you're supposed to do with it, and I can't go out. I can't. I slid down the hill yesterday. That
Seeing
counts,
that.
right?
On
You
your
didn't hit that
booty?
tree. I want to welcome we do have some sponsors. So our sponsors are Tetra Gun Care for all of your grease, your lube, your cleaning products, your snake to clean your barrel out, and all kinds of other accessories. Target Shotguns, Bob Schultz at targetshotguns.com. And he has all of your guns that you would like to purchase today, tomorrow, for a birthday, whatever. And Tex Hollis, and he is on Instagram and mentalclays.com
Yeah,
with Stephanie Newman. And
yeah.
there's me. Enjoy.
Hey Gary, I want to thank you for coming on here and talk to you a little bit today. Me and you met at the Georgia State shoot in about what 20 or 21
21.
before I met Tex. Before I met Tex, and me and you were we were fast friends because you shot left-handed and I am a lefty, and we used to pick on each other back and forth. And you introduced me to your recoil system, which I had never seen before, and that was intriguing to me. And I've showed it to several of my girlfriends. And but Gary, I mean, our friendship has evolved from there. From the time you were a lefty to now, we've. I feel like if I needed to fight fire, I would call you. How many years have you been trap shooting?
So I'm going to give the part that you left out. So Joy actually took
Oh,
$500 away from me. We
Joy.
That's what women
we
do. That's what women
we
do, Gary.
I
we
had to buy shoes, Gary.
we were shooting at Georgia, and they had a $500 pot, and I think the fairness of that pot was they divided it between yardage groups. They grouped one group in one and one group in another. So I was on lead off, and it was the first year I was shooting the sights, and Joy had to have been on five. We had a nice rhythm. I am now on post three, and she's on post two, and we're shooting flash targets. She gets a quarter angle that's a straightaway for three, kills it. And instead of waiting for the flash to dissipate, I kept rhythm for the squad. I pull my gun up, call for the target, and my target goes right through the flash. I can't see anything. I
Those are
missed the
called
target.
excuses, Gary. Those are called excuses that we have. Well, I'm going to put that one in my note.
Oh yes, that was a good one. So that was a good excuse. I've been shooting about 10 years. Uh, I told the ladies earlier I'm actually right-handed, but I shoot trap and long guns left-handed. Um,
Wow.
I had an eye problem that presented itself after I came back from Desert Shield, Desert Storm. The right optic nerve gets blood flow, but not enough. Um, we've gone through ophthalmologists, and finally, a neuro ophthalmologist thought that it was probably a virus that attacked the optic nerve instead of attacking a marker in the body.
Hmm.
So, my first time at shooting trap, 2014, I was on a task force. We went out to Bull Run in Virginia and shot. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. We shot sporting clays. Then the following week, we went back
That's
and shot.
Roseanne's specialty. That's Roseanne's
Yep.
specialty right there.
We went back and shot wobble trap. And I'm like, hey, this can replace softball. I found a local club, went out, shot right-handed and left-handed, and a member of the club said if I was going to start shooting trap, I should never pick up another shotgun right-handed in my life. So I took that as, if I really want to do this, you're going to have to learn how to shoot left-handed. I will tell you, I still struggle today making sure I'm set in the right spot, but it's fun. I've met great people, and the left-handed helped me with my handgun qualification for work, because when we used to shoot weak-sided, unsupported, a little hard on the trigger pull. Now it's not an issue. I'll get accused of not shooting weak-handed anymore. So,
Because
but
you don't
I've been
have a
shooting. No, I do not.
mm.
That's great.
But
And can you tell us a little bit about your career, what you do? I mean, we've decided that we're all in law enforcement except for Sandra Joe.
But I'm well protected always.
so I'm retired Air Force. I started out as a law enforcement specialist, and then we have an agency within the Air Force called the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. The best way I can tell it, you have NCIS, which is a TV show, and is our sister service. But I will tell you, we had a TV show before they did. For all us older people who may remember the $6 Million Man with Lee Majors,
Yeah.
Lindsay Wagner as a Bionic Woman, he worked for my agency, but that was before, that was a time when Hollywood was not allowed to use the DOD office name in real. So their OSI became, I think, the Office of Strategic Intelligence or Scientific Investigation. And I like to end that with, we gave the world Sandra Bullock. She was the Bionic girl.
I thought you were going to say
Oh.
me.
Yeah,
I did too.
so
I was like,
Senator Joe Jack.
"Oh,
We gave the world Sandra Joe Jack.
I retired from active duty in 2006 as an OSI agent. I cross-trained. There, a little bit known secret, there are probably in the Air Force about 1,800 military members who are actually sworn federal investigators.
Wow.
Because we could not keep computer crime investigators, they got an age waiver for me to come back past the age of 37. So this represents my 20th year. So I get to retire effective 31 July 2026
Yay.
as a mandatory. Yeah.
Man, I always love shooting with you. We have so much fun.
Oh, yes. And I
And,
will.
you know, we welcomed you on that lefty side.
Yes, I think I've shot with everyone except for Sandy. I shot with
Yeah.
Stephanie when I met her this year.
yes,
Oh, Steph, you got to tell us.
you did. We were shooting with. We were at the end of the line in Tucson. We were all the way at the end by the creek, I guess.
The duck pond. Duck
Yes.
pond.
And we were shooting with Miss Cara, and she was shooting really good. And I was going to congratulate her, and I think you tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Don't tell her, she doesn't know she shot this good." So I was like, "All right." And then she blew it out of the water, and we had a great squad. We had great rhythm. We had a lot of fun. And then a couple days later, I think I sat next to you on a bench, and we just chitty chatted for a little bit, and we're getting ready to shoot. So.
Yes.
Roseanne, what is we should just kind of introduce let Roseanne introduce herself also. What you do sporting clays. You're on the other side, but when I met you, you were doing trap shooting, right?
No.
Oh, we were at a trap
There was a
range.
trap shoot going on. We were there camping.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, we
So
had
how
some
many-
friends with us that were in the trap shoot.
Okay, so how long have you been shooting?
So I've been shooting registered sporting clays for a little over 10 years.
You go, girl.
Yes, and I see all your posts on Facebook. It's amazing. And I know that when I did meet you, of course, you have, what was that dog's name?
Layla.
Layla. I was trying to remember Layla, but I even took pictures and put a hat on Layla
yeah.
and
We
the
have
whole
all
works.
those
I was down on the
pictures. It was great.
ground rolling around with her and everything. So that's how we became friends. And
Yes.
today, our podcast is a lot about hurdles that we overcome.
Yes.
But if you want to go on to explain a little bit more about yourself, and you're married and to Paul, and do you have another dog?
So we now have so Paul I met 20 years ago, online. It was when the dating apps first came out, and it was funny because I set my profile all to private so I could go lurk around and see what I liked. And I started stalking him online, and we met and went out to dinner. And after that, we have been inseparable. We are best friends, and we've been married just coming up on, I believe, 11 years. He's going to be mad that I don't know how many.
That's okay.
And then Reba, we adopted. We lost Layla about 3 years ago to cancer, and we went about 6 months without a dog. And Paul finally caved because I've never been without a dog, and I had one picked out, and he finally said, "Okay, let's go see her." So it was Reba, and we've had her about 2.5 years, and she's been awesome. She picks up anything that we throw at her as far as going shooting. The gunshots don't bother her. Airbnbs, hotels. She loves to travel and meet people, and she's just been really good. She's a great emotional. There she is.
It's so sweet. I thought I'd show the world.
She's been a great emotional support dog for shooters. We'll be up at a stand shooting, and we'll turn around, look at the cart, and there'll be people just loving on her, and taking
Isn't that a
photos
gracious
with
thing?
her. And she's so awesome at the shoots. She's a good
How
ice
long
breaker.
how long have you been shooting sporting clays then?
I've been shooting sporting clays registered for a little over 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and during that time, we were talking earlier. You're retired also from law enforcement.
Yes, I've been retired from law enforcement for 6 years.
Wow.
I did 29 years of service.
Wow.
Isn't that retirement a great feeling?
Oh my gosh, I retired right before COVID, and I couldn't have picked a better time. I had a huge retirement party, and then the world shut down.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh, I came so close to not having this party. But yeah,
I had to ride through that. That was terrible.
yes,
That was a terrible time. But
I'm sure.
we're so glad to have our guest here today, and mainly why we have asked these special people here today is because we shoot with them, we see them, we love them, we support them, we pray for them, we think about them quite often, and they both either have had cancer or they presently have cancer in one form or another. And Gary, I you were such a special person, and an ironic to me was you're a big burly male that has breast cancer.
Yep.
Can you kind of walk us through that journey where it kind of scared you, the radiation, the chemo? Um, can
And
you
are
talk
you
to us a
through
little
it
bit
or
about
still
that?
going through it?
No, actually, all the treatments are done, but let's start from the beginning. It was about a year ago, shortly after New Year's. I was walking out my front door. I was multitasking, texting my girlfriend and opening the door at the same time. Didn't quite clear the doorway when I yanked the door open, uh, and it kind of brushed me across my right wrist. Ouch! Like first time, not the last time it's going to ever happen. A couple days later, I noticed I had a bump forming, and I had a doctor's appointment already scheduled in a couple of weeks. By that time, the bump had actually started to press through the skin. And so I showed it to my doctor. She goes, "I don't like it." Of course, I didn't like it either. And she referred me to a surgeon. We removed it and came back a week later. It was breast cancer of the right breast. invasive ductal carcinoma. Um, so immediately thereafter, that March, about 5 days before my birthday, the 17th of March, I had a mastectomy of the right breast. I tried to get them to do both, but that's just not something that doctors tend to do in males. Um, but I was begging, figured one time and one time only. So I went through a mastectomy. I was very blessed. I didn't have a lot of pain. A lot of friends, female friends that have had breast cancer, kind of told me they hated me, and not from a point of view of hate, just a point of view of fun. That they could recount when they went through it how much pain they had. And I was at home that afternoon, my girlfriend's house that afternoon, walking around like nothing had happened. Uh, People had thought, made the comments that they gave me some super drugs. So I was like, maybe. But rest assured, when I get the pain medication, I am going to take it right away because I don't want to wake up and have a lot of pain and couldn't get ahead of it. Luckily for me, that was not the case. So from that, they actually took my stitches out, and I'm not belittling any, uh, minimizing anybody else that went through this, of course. But took it out. I went through 2 rounds of chemo. Um, the first round was um, 2 drugs. One's called the Red Devil because I can't pronounce the name.
Red Devil.
Yeah,
It is
uh,
horrible.
that I was prepared for going to really kick my rear end. That was every 3 weeks. Um, from that, it came the hiccups. That was the biggest side effect I got, and the hiccups were so bad. By the second session, I actually called the oncologist and got a prescription for a muscle relaxer because it became every other word was a hiccup. Uh,
Like
That's
literal
from
hiccups.
yeah,
yeah,
hiccups.
It's a
hiccups.
side effect of the Red Devil.
Not
Yes.
a bump in the road, but a hiccups.
Yeah.
Roseanne, do you relate to that too? Did you have?
No, I get hiccups once in a while, but nothing like that.
Wow.
And from hearing what other people had from chemo, especially with the Red Devil and the other drug, that was kind of a blessing. Look for the positive because it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
From there, I moved to 12 weeks of once a week. Matter of fact, the Red Devil treatment was why I did not go to Georgia this year because that was my first chemo session was going to be that Friday. But then I went to 12 sessions weekly. Um, the only thing I got from that one, which was a shocker, was my hair turned white. It was gray, and my fingernail beds got a little dark. So, and going through radiation, I was very fortunate. The radiation oncologist said she heard that the chemo didn't bother me, and she would be surprised if the radiation didn't bother me. Luckily for me, it was just the skin darkening, which was all expected. Um, but I got to sleep through the night, because usually I will wake up maybe 2 nights out the week at 2 o'clock in the morning, looking at the ceiling. Uh, I had my follow up with her this morning to check the skin, and she was still surprised that I had not started to feel tired yet. Uh, so I've been blessed with this. I attribute that to friends like you, other friends that I kind of try to keep a positive outlook in life on things and not dwell on things that are really bad. But a lot of those friends kind of honored me by remaining normal, is what I would call it. So I shot when I could, which was all the time. Um, I would tell you it was 3 times where the radiation, not the radiation, the oncology, the first chemo probably got me was the Maryland State shoot on a Sunday because I only shot the Sunday because I had one of my baseball players had a wedding reception that Saturday. Um, yeah, I was a little tired there, and then at the Dixie Grand, that was the Saturday after my last oncology treatment, chemo treatment. That first 100 was great. All of a sudden, I got tired. I took a nap in the car, and I told the guys to wake me up before we shot, and they actually let me sleep till like the last 25 of the squad in front of us, and they woke me up to shoot. And one of the guys made the comment. He goes, "You know, you've been pretty steadfast throughout this, but we could tell today that you were kind of dragging." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll probably better after I take a nap tonight." Which after I went to bed, I did feel better. But it's people like you. I mean, I told Tex, and I knew when I told Tex I had a project for him that it was going to be probably 2 seconds before Joy found out. Unbeknownst, about 3 seconds after that, Sandy Joe finds out because she comes in while we're there.
Tell them the story if you want to. Oh
Oh
my
no,
gosh.
no, that story we will tell
that
offline.
that
It's a
stays
funny
at the
story.
that
It's
stays in Tucson, right?
Yeah.
it's pretty funny
but
though.
Oh
but
yes,
but Gary, I even know that you put your port on your right side so that you could shoot.
yes, I did. I asked the doctor, the oncologist, does it matter which side I put my port on? And he said, well, we tried to put it on the opposite side of the mastectomy. And I'm like, crap. Now I'm going to learn how to shoot right-handed again.
Again.
I wasn't. Again, for me, it was all about trying to stay normal. I had a plan, and people supported that plan. Nick Hughes and his father, Ray Hughes, his mother I knew, his grandmother I knew from the Maryland State Association. She had been a left-handed shooter that shot right-handed. She had a carry side sighter, and this was before I started. And she also had a EOTech set up so she could shoot left eye dominant, right-handed. I They found out I had cancer, and I was talking to Nick. I go, didn't your grandmother have such and such? He goes, yeah. They went home, found a picture, and sent it to me to have an idea of what I needed to do if I wanted to shoot right-handed again. But I had a plan. I was Even if I showed up at the shoots and shot crappy, I was not missing the shoot. I wanted to stay normal as possible.
Well,
Just
yesterday. Oh, sorry,
hold
but what's that? Go ahead.
it's my turn to talk.
Your turn. Yeah.
So, just on that, Gary, I think that's important to just recognize for your mental health, right? Like, even if you didn't shoot good, shooting was what you loved and it was your passion, and that's what you wanted to do to help all this shittiness that's happening over here. You just wanted to go be a part of it with the people, the camaraderie, the just being on the line, doing the things, right? Like, that was the important piece of this.
Yes, I think that was a very important part of resilience.
Yeah.
To be resilient, figuring out what you can do to make everything again as normal as possible. You know,
Yeah.
I would say my girlfriend's son Seth. You notice I said Seth, Sandra Joe Jack, and I
Yeah,
said
yeah. Well, that's
my
with the story that
girlfriend's
we can't
son.
tell on.
He, when I broke it to him, like I had to break it to some people before I told the world. And I wasn't trying to hide that I had cancer. I just didn't advertise it. But when I told him I needed him to remain the same pain in the rear that he always was, and he's not a pain. He took it to the nth level. When he was younger, I would tell him, "This is a gift. It's on loan to you. I will take it if you act up." He's 25. He was 24 then. They bought me a chair for Father's Day and for my birthday. One of those recliners that will raise you all the way up and stand up. He couldn't wait when I got to their house to tell me that the chair was on loan, that he paid for half of it. And I'm like, okay, what half did you pay for? The remote control and the back. So if you act up,
Love it.
I will put you on the couch. Yeah. So
Ooh.
I love it.
those kind of things kind of, really made it for me.
Well, Gary, yesterday it's really ironic because and Roseanne that we're doing this, and I know it's been a few weeks that we could put this all together. But I did get a text message from a friend of mine, and the question was, "Do you know, Sandy? Do you know somebody that has gone through breast cancer and reconstructive surgery?" And I thought, "Oh my gosh!" So right away, instead of texting her back, I called her. And I said, "This is you?" And she said, "Yes." I'm not going to say the name yet because she's just in the beginning of all this.
But she's
And
a
she is a
shooter.
trap.
Yep.
Pardon?
She's a shooter, right?
Yeah, she's a trap shooter. So, how the timing is that yesterday I get that question because her concern is like with you. I don't know from a man standpoint, but the woman, our breast, we don't want to lose them. And so she wants to know if that is something that did you have to have reconstructive surgery to build that back up to make it, the same as shooting? Did you have to change your stock? Did you have to change all those things? Because I don't know what the difference with the man and the woman's um, surgery is.
So no reconstruction for me. I women have something to want to be leveled out or to feel feminine, right? For me, it wasn't that. I was cool with doing both and be flat chested, lose whatever muscle I had left, if that was the case. But for me, no. But remember, the cool thing, I got my port put on the right because I'm a left-handed shooter, and it was my right breast and not my left breast. So for me, there was not much. There was no adjustment to the gun, except for some of the weight I might have lost.
Okay.
But that was about it. Is she right-handed, or is the side of hers she's right-handed, or she's doing a bilateral? She would think.
That well, it's kind of she'll know next week if that she has to have the breast reduction. So it's good to get some information. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I was just asking Roseanne how does that play out for you, my dear?
So I had a double mastectomy, and they put in what's called tissue expanders if you want to have reconstruction. There's two types of reconstruction for women. One's called the diaphlap, where they take a muscle from your abdomen and move it up and use that muscle. I could not have that one because I have back issues and they didn't want me to have more complications. So I had the expanders put in, and you go in every so often and they put fluid into those expanders to stretch the skin. And then it's a whole process. From the time that I had the double mastectomy to the time that I had the regular implants put in, I think it was about a 6-month process. So I was not shooting during that time. I'm not sure if I was. I think I wasn't shooting during that time. I've had so many on and off times of not shooting. I can't remember which was which. But once the when they put those expanders in, they feel like iron. They're just very uncomfortable. But you don't have to live with those. So once they put the implants in, they're the soft jelly, ooey gooey stuff. And I had to go through drainage tubes for a while. And then after that, things started to heal and I got back into shooting. I would practice with holding the gun and getting some weight, but it was a whole process.
But Roseanne, you still stayed involved. You've stayed involved the whole time that you've been sick, whether you're shooting, scoring, watching, laughing, or just talking to
Absolutely.
writing.
Shooting
I mean,
is part of my
yeah,
life. Yes.
giving anybody the heckle from the sideline, you should have shot that better, or more bullets down the pipe, or change your toe tube, or
Yeah.
um, and this is our life. This is what we love, and um, my sister had breast cancer 17 years ago. She had it twice, in fact. And so I was a caregiver to her, and boy, she went through a lot of difficulties. They did not want to remove hers. They only did a partial, which was horrible. And then she had to go through later the expansions, the tubes, all of that stuff. And maybe a question to the both of you guys. I know, I mean, we're thinking of y'all. We're like y'all's caregivers, but I know y'all had somebody special in y'all's life that stayed right up under you to listen to every doctor's visit, or listen to those sounds that you didn't want to hear because after you heard cancer, you can't hardly hear anything else. How
Did
did you?
did Go
Go,
ahead.
Cindy. Go,
Did you
Cindy.
have to do any adjustments then? Because sporting clays is shot a little different than trap, of course.
Yeah.
But did you have to go through a lot of changes with your stock or your butt pad or?
So just like Gary talked about with the port, I had to go through chemo in two different sections of my life. The first time I had 4 treatments. They put a port in, and they put it on the right side. I had asked them if they could put it on the left because I was shooting. They didn't want me shooting during that time. So they put it on the right, and everything was fine. I got back to shooting. Um, 4 years ago, when I had to go back on continual treatment, I asked if they could put it on the opposite side, and I became pretty good friends with my surgeon because I had to see him quite a bit. He put it on my left side. Well, I have lymphedema on my left side, and it caused issues with healing.
Yeah.
So they had to move the port over to the right side, but he pushed it in as far as he could. And I mount my gun a little bit further out onto my shoulder. So I did have to make some adjustments with my stock and stuff. But I mean, I cried when he said, we got to put it on the right side. I'm like, I have to be able to shoot. I mean, and he knew all about it. He's like, I know. The doctors would come in and they're like, we know it's got to be it's got to be really pushed in. And it worked. And I've had this poured in for a few years now, and I've been able to shoot with it with no problems.
Roseanne, what type of breast cancer do you have, and has it just come back, or what? Take us through your journey.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. Mine started in 2014 with stage 1 breast cancer in my right side. I had no idea. Like Gary said, he felt a lump, and a lot of women say they feel a lump. I didn't feel anything. I just went in for a regular mammogram, came back, and the doctor's like, you need to see an oncologist. So in 2014, with it being stage 1, it was small enough they were able to do what's called a lumpectomy, which is just removing a portion of the breast. And I had 35 rounds of radiation.
Oh, dear God.
That caused my shoulder to freeze up. So when I was able to get back into shooting, I shot my sub-gauge gun. I think I was shooting a 28 sub-gauge. And I started off with that for a while. I went with the lightest load, the lightest gun, and just did whatever I could to get back into shooting. And then 2 years later, the mammogram showed I again did not feel anything, had no idea. I had breast cancer on the left side. And that time we decided to get more aggressive. I had the double mastectomy. I had a hysterectomy because it was estrogen driven.
Wow.
And I had 4 rounds of chemo just for good measure, that if it had escaped, which it didn't show in the lymph nodes when they removed a couple lymph nodes, but just precautionary, I had 4 rounds of chemo. And then I was put on estrogen. No, I wasn't. Yeah, I was taking pills for 5 years. And then while I was at a shoot at Cardinal Center, the night shoot, my arm started swelling up 5 years later, and I'm all down my left side. And I'm like, something is not right here. When we got home, I called the oncologist, and they got me right in. They were able to biopsy a cyst or a lymph node on the left side, and found that it was breast cancer cells. And from there, I went back to the oncologist. It was not my regular oncologist because I got in so quickly. I had to see a different one. And she told me, after reviewing everything, that I had a couple months to live. And you talk about wanting to completely lose your mind. My husband and I were just looking at each other like, You gotta be kidding me. A couple months? So I asked for my oncologist back and went and saw him, and I'm like, what in the hell? So it's stage 4 breast cancer that I was diagnosed with 4 years ago. It's also called metastatic breast cancer. It is not curable, it is treatable, and it is considered terminal. Women were living about an average of 5 years with metastatic breast cancer, but thanks to a lot of new treatments that have come out, women are living a lot longer if you can respond to the treatment. I've lost, I belong to like Zoom groups of metastatic breast cancer. It's other women that are going through the same thing that I'm going through. And I've lost 6 people in that group in the past year. And there's only like 14 people in our group. So to say it's close to a cure, I'm going to say no.
Roseanne,
To a cure.
oh, go ahead, Sandy.
Is there you could give me the link or tell me where that is, because is there other shooters, that you have this group? Because even this lady that contacted me, possibly she might need to be a part of your group.
So my group is only for metastatic breast cancer.
Okay.
So you have to be stage 4.
Okay.
But there are other groups, like if she checks when she gets an oncologist, have her check with, they should have either like a social worker or somebody there that can help her. A lot of the hospitals have in-person groups. They have Zoom groups. I belong to a thing called Gilda's Corner. It's Gilda Radner, who was, I think she helped form Saturday Night Live a long time ago. She has a society that you can, a lot of the stuff you can do online.
But there's nothing really, nothing really geared towards trap shooting ladies though yet, right?
Oh, towards shooters? No, I've never seen anything geared towards
Okay.
shooters. No.
Roseanne, one of the Joy, hold on.
Yeah.
Start again. Go ahead.
Yeah, both are so inspiring to me. Because the spirit of this game, of these games, the smell of that shotgun powder carries us on. Isn't that ironic? That it's just this the spirit of the people,
It
the
is.
people that are involved.
And that's like Gary. He told me a story when I gave him a call the other night. He didn't know I was writing. I was trying to write as he's talking, and this is like an hour
She
later.
did that to me too, Gary, but whatever.
What's that?
Yeah, notes when I talk
Gary.
too.
Me too.
I'm just like right now. But my pages is getting longer and longer. But you told me this really kind of, we're going to lighten this up just a little bit. But you told me this funny story that you usually were not a squad leader. So you ended up being a squad leader. Okay, well, you go around post 1, post 2, post 3, post 4, and you're waiting and you're waiting, and they're all looking at you like, why aren't you starting? And you were wondering too, why isn't the person on post 1 starting? Well, you were the squad leader. It just kind of confused you, so it's just kind of funny hearing that.
No, but I'm used to being post 1. That started back in 2016. I shot with John Kirksey, and they put me on post 1. Well, first you have to back up. John texts me his ATA card, so I have to classify him. I'm only shooting 2 years. I don't know the rules, and I got a what for about John Kirksey texting me his card. So the guy at the window says, I got the squad for you. I'm like, well, we want post 2 and post 3. Nope. You have to shoot post 1.
Yeah.
I've never shot post 1. I don't want to be on post 1. This is the squad for John to shoot at 200. I get down. I was all focused and calm. And I walk up, and John Kirksey says, the famous Kaylin Hamilton and Butch Borman, which is her husband. So, yeah, look at Fanboard, because, I'll look at the magazine. I've seen their names all over. And there was a guy named Dan Biggs out of New Jersey who I'd seen. And all of a sudden, I'm on a squad that I don't think I belong on, which today, there ain't a squad I don't belong on.
Yeah. Good. Good.
But I was so nervous that I missed the first target 8 times in that 200.
Each first target.
Each first target I missed. The last 25, John Kirksey says to me, "Are you ever going to hit the first target?" And I looked at him with a serious look. I'm not trying to miss. Lost.
Yeah,
We
that
finished,
happens.
and Butch, Kaylin's husband, says to me, "Gary, if we're all shooting together again, your post is post 1. You can run a squad. You can take care of a squad. You keep the pace." And I looked at them and said, "I don't want to be on post 1. I never shot post 1. And Kaylin says, "All you had to do was tell us. We would have swapped out. We could do that." I didn't know the rules. And that friendship, that has formed one of the longest friendships I had on the trap field, other than the guys I shoot with normally. And that's always the go-in joke whenever they want to pick on me. They go, "At least you don't miss the first 8 shots anymore, do you?" Yeah.
First 8
Oh,
shots.
brilliant.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's possible. Who could do that? You.
I did it.
Roseanne, I wanted to ask you, or Gary, either one, and maybe just ignorance of not understanding cancer and all the things that cancer's capable of, was there any downside of shooting and that constant pressure to your shoulder as you're going through that to aggravate or irritate the cancer cells? Or I don't even know if that's a thing. I mean, maybe I'm completely off.
Not so much aggravating them, but no, I don't think so, because like for me, with it being metastatic, the cancer cells are already all through my body.
Okay.
It's just whether or not they're going to wake up and do something. So last year it actually went to my brain, and I've had 2 targeted radiations on my brain. I had brain surgery 6 weeks ago, so I'm currently not shooting right now. I have no peripheral vision, but I don't think I know the shooting didn't have anything to do with the progression. It's just part of the devil of cancer is where or when is it, for me, where or when is it going to pop up.
Yeah.
Stages 1 through 3, the chemo and the radiation can zap everything in that area, and the person normally doesn't have to worry about it coming back.
So if you can shoot, go shoot, because it's about what you want. Right? Like, is
I
that the
think if you can,
I have chemo every 3 weeks, and I will have to have chemo every 3 weeks for the rest of my life because of the type of, so just because I'm labeled breast cancer, there's types of breast cancer.
Okay.
So I'm like HER2 positive, estrogen negative, progesterone negative, which probably doesn't mean a whole lot to people, but it tells the doctor how to treat it. And with HER2 positive, it has to be treated with chemo. If that was the case, I'd never be able to shoot again. And the doctor actually encourages it because he knows that's what is good for my mental health.
Yeah, it makes you want to go. It makes you want to get up. It makes you have something to look forward to.
Yes.
Which is all part of living.
And we travel and do it. So have our travel plans got messed up? Yes. I mean, we've had to readjust and not go because something pops up. But you have to have that looking forward to something and meeting new people and seeing new clubs. And you have to go on and live your life. I mean, you could get run over by a bus tomorrow, I mean.
Well, I think you shoot more than I do. I think you shoot more than I do. I do, because
we try to shoot a tournament every weekend.
Yes, well, I mean, I shoot a lot, but I always see your posts on Facebook, and that goes back to, I don't even know what year it was that I met you. It was at the Cardinal Center, and like I said, it was the dog that got me reeled right into you guys.
It had to be at least 5 years ago, 4 or 5.
Well, it has to be more than that. It has to be like 8, 9 years, actually, longer than. Yeah, and I see your jackets back there, and on your Facebook page, it's so inspiring to me because I know what's going on, and you do have team team Roseanne, and you've got boxing gloves. A lot about the boxing gloves. What is the symbol of those gloves?
So Jim and Gina O'Brien, they own True Pair Apparel or
Okay,
Clay Shooting Apparel. They actually designed the Team Roseanne logo.
okay,
And it was a surprise because a friend of ours, Dan Williams, was organizing with Moa Tatum, Amber Brown, and Anthony Lamacchia. They organized a fundraiser for me when I first got diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer in 22. And this was all done. I had no idea this was even going on.
mm,
So that logo, oh, where's it at? Here's the stickers. Um, this is the
yeah,
logo, Team Roseanne, Crushing Cancer, No One Fights Alone. The O'Briens made that logo up and let them use it for the fundraiser. And then they started selling a lot of swag,
yeah.
T-shirts, jerseys. You can see some of the stuff up here. Bear Pelt has vests as
Oh,
well. They have a Team Roseanne vest. Hats, T-shirts, sweatshirts. I mean, you can go online to um, their website and order any of the swag. And what they do come October is they donate the money to breast cancer organizations,
awesome.
and it's so cool to
Oh.
see that.
You even have a car. You even have a number 26 car after you.
Yes, yes.
And
So, but
what's that race about?
the boxing gloves, I think, represent strength to me in the fight. That I'm not going to give up. So that's on the logo. On the card, that was a complete surprise too. He
Mm,
posted it on Facebook, and he's like, so the number 26 on the car was my badge number when I was in law enforcement.
okay, that makes sense now.
And then he had the Team Roseanne put across the car. And his name, the driver owner of the car, is Dylan Barnes. He's from Tennessee. He's from Tennessee, and him and his now wife Caitlin, we were at Elk Creek, a sporting place in Kentucky, and we were staying on their site in some rooms that they had up on a hill. And a big what they call that, straight line winds came in and blew the roof off of our rooms. So we went through what was like a tornado with them. And that's how we met them. He's a fellow shooter. And
Isn't that neat? And a race car driver. I'm trying to
and a
find the
race car
photo of your
driver.
car.
And
I
for
know.
him to do that, it was just like out of the blue. I had no idea. And he posted it on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so
Oh.
awesome. I now have a race car. I have we have shooter friends from South America. Alejandro and his wife Paula Bravo. They
Yeah.
come up to the States to shoot, and he got this religious medal for me. They went to it was called Our Lady of the Miracles, which is a couple hours from their house. And they had this blessed, and they took my Team Roseanne sticker and they put it in the prayer box. And I don't take this off. This is
Yeah.
my everything right here. My stickers made it to the Mount Everest by Mark
Oh
Baltazar,
my gosh.
another fellow shooter from New York. So
Oh.
it's like there's me shooting in all my pink. But
Gary, we're going to need to get you some swag.
so I've been trying to find the craziest places where my stickers end up at. A lot of times
Oh,
they're on the shooting carts, and when we see them at a tournament, when I see a sticker, it just gives me that much more boost and
Oh.
strength, and it feels so good to feel that support from our fellow shooters.
Well, I'd love to bring one to Wyoming.
me too.
I Yes,
To Wisconsin.
I will have to send you guys some.
Yes.
Of doing the pouch in 22. Tex Hollis did your
I
the
can't find the
pouch that
photo.
they auctioned off, and that was an absolute honor for him to do that.
Oh, you
And
have the pouch.
and you
So
don't know that was bought back for you, right?
it went to auction,
Oh,
and Eric Jones bid on it in an auction. I think it went for like $500. And at the end of the fundraiser, he gave it to me. And I just love it. We display it with our other Team Roseanne stuff, and I just love it.
And designing a pouch. He's doing one too. Him and Tex need to get together, or they will, and they're coming up with something that's special for him. So
For who?
you know,
We missed that.
Gary
Yeah.
King.
Nice.
He's him and Tex are doing something special for him. So
Very
whatever
nice.
Gary kind of how they
The,
a
the
lot of
22nd was funny because that was the last day of my radiation treatment. So when she said the 22nd, I threw up two thumbs, not knowing that it was talking about 2022.
Oh,
there.
neat.
La la.
Wow. You guys are amazing. And I think, so mental clays is just doing the neuroscience around shooting and what our brain needs to be able to go out there and shoot the way we know how to shoot. And a lot of times we can shoot really well in practice, but we go to perform or competitions and we choke, or we miss that one bird, or we miss the pair, whatever that looks like. And there's a lot to be said that you guys are coming out there and you're shooting even when you're in pain or you're struggling or you're going through all these other things. It goes to the other side of it that shooting is a passion, and it's a power in it, in being able to stand out there and take the heat or take the wind or the cold or whatever it looks like, because nothing matters when it's just you and the bird and the shell. And you guys are really able to master that subcortical shooting, whether you know it or not, because nothing else matters when you're on the line, right? It doesn't matter that you have stage 4 cancer. It doesn't matter that you've overcome it. You're just shooting. And that's all in your subcortex, and that's really great.
I
And that's why
visualize each clay that I kill is a cancer cell that I'm killing.
I
That's
love it.
pretty
Oh my God, that's
inspirational.
How I
epic.
Yeah.
visualize
Oh,
shooting.
Good.
I'm
And
killing.
that's why
yeah.
we brought you, we had this idea is because of, when we go to a shoot, we look around and everybody's just shooting, whether it's the clay shooting or the trap shooting or the skeet. But everybody has something going on inside. So we wanted to reach out to you two and for you to share what you have to go through to mentally overcome and to be able to go out. Because, Roseanne, will you be able to shoot again? Hopefully.
As long as my vision starts coming back, or I may have to reevaluate how I shoot. I may have to learn how to turn my head more for targets that are coming from the right. Because with sporting clays, they can put the machine way off to the side, so I have to be able to pick up that bird. If it wasn't for my vision, I just have some fatigue right now, but I can work through fatigue.
Yeah.
But the vision portion is the scary part, because if somebody comes up alongside of me right now, they scare the bejesus out of me. I've broken like 2 dishes because I can't see anything.
Well, and evidently someone has said, like, we need to see the target to break the target. I mean, it's...
Yeah, your eye
Somebody
needs to
said
lock
that?
on there. That kind of helps a little.
But
But
you
I'll
are,
find a way around it if it don't come back. But I
Yeah.
met with a surgeon the other day, and he just seems to think it needs a little more time. I have some swelling going on where they did the surgery. So he thinks once the surgery comes down a little bit more, I should regain some of that vision back.
and Gary, you get to continue fighting for her on the trap shooting line for now on. Bring in that inspiration and her thought, us thinking about Roseanne to get through this. And Gary, where is your next shoot?
Georgia State shoot.
The
End of
one you
April.
missed.
The one I missed. So I'm from Georgia originally. I grew up about 100 miles from Covington, but I didn't know anything about trap shooting as a kid growing up.
Very cool. Well, we really appreciate you guys taking this time for us and being vulnerable and sharing your stories. Our goals are always to help others, and there's maybe some people out there that don't even know they need this type of help yet. So hopefully this will be there for them. As always, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, ladiesclaybuzz@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold or in touch of Gary or Roseanne, email us and we will get your contact information to them and get you guys the support that you need. So, anything else, ladies?
I'm just so, I mean, I'm blessed that I've
So
met you
proud.
so many years ago. And Gary, I met because of my crazy socks. So he said, "Who's that lady out there with them crazy socks again?"
Same,
Just like
Gary. Same.
same with Stephanie. But we're very blessed to have your time. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Inspiration to everybody.
Miss Joy?
Gary. Well, a little affirmation is you know, you don't have to fix the whole world. You just got to be kind in your corner. It's a
Yep.
little kindness in your.
All right. And always, we'll see you guys on the line. Thank you.